is going on, everybody, man? King Recon here. I just finished watching the episode of Skypiea, man. And as I said in the lead-in going into this, y'all know, man, my third favorite arc in the story, third favorite saga with Giant Skypiea. And I've been looking forward to seeing how they're going to handle this because Skypiea is such a long saga that it's very, very difficult to cover that in 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Let alone include what was Jaya. You know what I'm saying? So I went into this of just wanting to see how they would reanimate certain scenes and how they would what soundtracks would they use here and just how they would do this particular episode. There was definitely a lot of stuff that they cut out, man. Unfortunately. I would not tell anybody to watch this over reading the manga or watching the anime. As much as I remember people complaining about the anime being dragged out in Skypiea, I would take that over this special right here, no question, because it doesn't leave anything out. The same thing with the manga, of course, the manga being the best version of Skypiea for me. But I enjoyed myself so much watching this thing, man. I really, really did. And I think it just shows you how much of a special place this entire story has in my heart. Because, like, when I tell you guys they rushed a lot of key moments, added and just jumbled up the points in certain moments, and had certain things happen here and certain things happen here, and it was very, very weird at times. Very, very weird at times. The pacing was, it was very, very quick. There were a few instances that they excelled at. Absolutely excelled at. Number one, the entire Nolan Kagawa flashback, they made sure to give that the time that it needed. And what I love so much about that portion is that they left the original, like the original style of the way that the flashback was done back in the anime. And whenever you went into it, you would get like these, there would be a lot of noise on the picture, and then you would get right into the flashback. And I love that a lot. I love that they gave a lot of time to the Nolan Kagawa flashback because that adds so much weight and emotion to the final scene, which is one of my favorite scenes in the whole series, the Golden Bell. And whenever Luffy rings the bell. And for me, I'm so happy that they decided to give that the time that it needed, even though, of course, they couldn't tell the whole story. That's why they had a narrator going in and summarizing it. But for the moments that they did do, man, I felt it, bro. It never fails to get to me, man. So they really did that part justice. The portions with Luffy going up to face NL, and they had overtaken playing the entire time, bro. Shocked NL face in HD. I mean, great stuff right there. Whenever they initially got up there, you know, going up the knock-up stream, and then, of course, seeing Skypiea for the first time, a couple great shots of seeing the island and whatnot. But like I said before, man, it's so tough for them to put everything that is the greatness of Skypiea into one 2-hour film, man, because it is such a massive arc with so many important moments. And they tried to give it its they tried to, in an hour and 45 minutes, tell the story of Jaya all the way to the Golden Bell, or to the bell being rung, the Light of Shandora being rung, and that's where they ended it. Was right after the bell rang. And then there was an amazing ending song with Nami Moments, man, her final song, yo. And in there, I was marking out so hard because they had this reanimated version of Ace versus Blackbeard. That caught me so off guard, bro. I lost my mind when I saw the Ace and Blackbeard sequence. I was like, ah, Kaientai Ente. I mean, dude, I was marking out, man. And then, of course, actually, my Crunchyroll is still on there with the huge thank you to Nami Moments, man, delivering 2 of the best openings in this series, bro. And and she wanted to retire with One Piece, man. So that's flipping awesome sauce. But getting back to the special itself, just going to summarize what they covered as best as I can. They covered from the moment that the ship falls down from the sky, and they find out there's something falling down from the sky. They find it, you know, they find the map of Skypiea, and they go to Mont Black Cricket's house in Jaya. There was no Bellamy, no Blackbeard's speech, none of that, which really, really saddened me, because Blackbeard's speech and Bellamy getting punched is also a mess, like a big part of this entire saga. You know, Blackbeard's speech about dreams never ending, bro. And that's the whole concept of this arc. And so I was really saddened whenever they left that out, but then I understand where they were coming from with the time constraints. They wanted to focus on Mont Blanc Cricket and his story, on how like he connects to Norland and how that's going to connect to the final scene in the story. So I understood why they cut it out, but I was extremely disappointed that they cut out that scene for sure. In this special, because I wanted to see Blackbeard's speech, man. I rewatched that all the time, and it would have been great to have another version to rewatch it in, but we didn't get it. And same thing with Luffy punching Bellamy, dude. I would have loved to have that scene as well, but I understand, you know, you can't dedicate 30 minutes to Jaya and then an hour and 15 to Skypiea. It felt rushed enough with like an hour and 30 to Skypiea, but. And then whenever you get on the island itself, man, whenever Gonfall comes in, it was much more different than it was in the actual series. Same thing with Conus. No, Conus is... I mean, we never even got to see Conus' father. We never got to see Conus' father or Conus' father's sacrifice. So that was a pretty big portion of the arc that wasn't there, you know. And then when it comes down to just the placement of certain battles, they gave almost no time to the battle royale game that took place in Upper Yard, man, and that saddened me because there was a lot of portions from that battle that were extremely awesome sauce, man. Yo, Chopper and Gedatsu greatness, bro. They gave that like 2 seconds, dog. I was like, okay, I got it. I understand. They gave that a couple seconds. They when it came to the whole Satori, I'm surprised they gave Satori as much time as he did, and that was misplaced. You know, whenever I got to see like the whole going into Upper Yard and seeing the ordeals, instead they popped up in different scenarios. Actually, it was interesting in the way they decided to introduce NL the moment that the arc starts. The moment that you enter into Skypiea, you see NL. Whereas we remember, one of my favorite things about the Skypiea saga, whenever you enter the arc, is the mystery of finding out why does lightning continuously fall down. Who is this kami that they are? You know, they continue to praise, even though he keeps demolishing them. That was a huge part of the mystery of the greatness of what made Skypiea in the beginning so amazing to me, bro. I mean, not only was it awesome because it's a flipping island in the sky, and finding out about dials, you know, finding or just seeing them get on the waiver. I've always been a huge fan of the waivers, and all that awesome sauce, of course, but. Man, dude, the mysterious portion, especially whenever somebody talks bad about NL and he just smites them in an instant, I was like, yo! Like, that was some of my favorite stuff. That still is some of my favorite stuff in Skypiea, that beginning portion of the arc before you get into Upper Yard, because it's excellent how they handle the mystery behind NL, bro, and who he is and what his powers are. It's like because it really does feel like it's God that's the one that's doing this. Like, smiting people, can hear things, like, even if you whisper it or if you're thinking it, like, oh, it's madness, right? And I was like, dude, they could have capitalized on that, man, because there could have been some of the things that they could have cut out, but at the same time, they already cut out enough as it is. So, like I said, it's very, very difficult to tell the story of Skypiea in that short amount of time. But I really wish that we could have had at least some sort of mystery before we got NL, because that's to me a big part of what made that entire first portion of Skypiea so amazing, dog. But regardless, we didn't get it. Instead, we flung right into Upper Yard. We got the scene of Zoro seeing the sacrificial altar really early as well. And then they did the scene whenever NL shows up right there with Gonfall and Sanji and Usopp and Nami and Conus on the ship. They did that scene pretty marvelously, man. Any scene with NL is always nice, and even some of NL scenes were cut out, man. Out of all the scenes that I did not expect them to cut out, they cut out probably top 3 favorite NL scenes for me. They cut out, and also one of my favorite Wiper scenes. They cut out the reject dial scene when we know how much damage that was doing to Wiper, bro. And he nails NL. NL hits the floor. And then he starts beating his own heart, bro. He comes back up. God itself is beating hero. Yo, man, his legendary speech wasn't there, or Wiper's fantastic moment, man. And even before that, whenever Wiper just stabbed him in the head, I mean, yo, they real deal missed out on a couple of really key scenes for characters, man. But once again, I understand time constraints. It's just it's because the thing is, I enjoyed it so much because I love this series with all my heart. But like, there was just certain times where I was like, are we serious? We're not including that? Like, you know how important that is to the overall character of Wiper, bro? Like, I understand if it's not for NL, man. Like, NL has so many awesome lines. It's all good. And that's even though that's my favorite NL line, it's okay. It's okay, but for Wiper, bro, after I saw that scene, I mean, Wiper was already my dude, but that's whenever he became my guy, bro. He risked his entire life to take out NL. And they didn't include that scene, man. The entire portion with you know, the battle royale going down with all 75 of the people that were participating. Whenever I like the way that they decided to minuscule the time on that, they would show like panel, and it would go down slowly but surely, and you would see everybody getting taken out and whatnot. You would see like Luffy going in, Zoro going in, and whatnot. But in the middle of those sequences, man, they had freaking Chopper and Gidatsu. And I was like, yo, you could have at least dedicated more than 2 seconds to that, man. But it's okay. It's okay. I understand, because that's an awesome little Chopper moment. Completely disregarded Robin's. they completely disregarded Robin's fight, yo. And then when it comes down to whenever they all arrive and they're together, they did that scene really, really well. Whenever, you know, now there's 6 of us here, so we have to get rid of one. Who's that one gonna be? It's gonna be you. That scene was very well done here. In the special, the scene of Robin first finds the city of gold. That scene was also very well done. Really nice perspective shots there, showing it, you know, from her perspective and whatnot. Another thing, whenever it comes to the special, I was expecting like some really, really godly level animation coming from this, like we did for episode of East Blue. But instead, we got pretty solid art and pretty solid animation. But there were certain scenes that stuck out, but aside from that, it didn't really excel in that aspect. One thing that this special did excel at is soundtrack placement. It had fantastic soundtrack placement for many different scenes, using a lot of classic One Piece OSTs. To the Grand Line, Mother Sea, Golden Odin, Difficult, Runaway. I mean, a lot of great. As much as I loved Overtaken being played, I would have loved if they would have played Luffy's Here and then Overtaken, because Luffy's Here. Every time I hear Luffy's Here, I always think that's whenever Luffy was chasing after NL, man, and initially got on the Arc Maxim. So just getting down to my initial point, I really enjoyed the special. It reminded me why I love Skypiea so much, and it makes me want to go back and reread or rewatch the original arc. This special really reminded me how much connection I have to Norland and Kagara's flashback, and to that final scene, man, with the Golden Bell. You know, that Golden Bell scene in the original anime is one of the best scenes in the anime, without question. Whenever Luffy rings the bell, no question, that's one of the best scenes in the anime. And in this one, it was excellent. It was great. I have a lot of nostalgia with the other ones, so I prefer it. It's just like the same thing whenever we had the episode of Mary, how I felt that they did the Jet Gatling in the episode of Mary, or it was solid. I enjoyed the original so much, the original Jet Gatling, and since I watched it with the fan subs first and Kaizoku fan subs, man, it had the colors. It was the first time ever where you had seen, like, normally for Luffy's jet attacks, or for his regular attacks, it was green. If you guys remember the fan sub days, man, the jet attacks were green, Gomu Gomu no, you know, come out green, and then for the regular attacks green, for the jet attacks red. So this time around, it started off red, and then it went all rainbow colors. He's hitting the Jet Gatling, man, and that's why that scene meant so much to me. It's kind of a similar situation here. They did a pretty good job with the Ogun rifle here in the anime, but there was just or in the remake, in a special. But there's something about the original Ogun rifle, man, that just so godly, man. So Still really emotional, still really got to me in a lot of different points in the special. Like I said, it did a great job in reminding me why I love Skypiea, man, and it really has me super excited to see NL again. The scenes with NL utilizing his attacks was really nice. Whenever he was using Hino and Kiten, I was very sad, and they didn't include the Mamaragan. That's my favorite attack from NL, man, Mamaragan. But they had Kingdom Come. You know, they had a couple of key NL attacks. Most of its attacks were in here in this special, and it was really cool. They definitely cut out a lot of the initial battle that took place on the Maxim itself. Whenever they first get on the Maxim, before you get to the golden or to the Ogun rifle scene, that portion right there has some of my favorite Nami and Luffy moments. Nami has some fantastic moments on that ship, man. Fantastic flipping moments. She's standing up to NL, bro, going in. That is some of my favorite parts to rereading the manga, man. I mean, as a Nami fan, I almost always look back to that. I remember somebody asked me, I think it was like a year ago, what my favorite Nami panels are, and right there is one of them, man. It is you know, Nami in that portion right there against NL, godly panels. And Luffy, bro, those are some phenomenal Luffy moments, man. They even cut out the portion whenever NL, because they were leading up to it perfectly, bro. I was like, okay, we're about to see the legendary moment whenever NL is going in on Luffy, or attempting to go in the Maxim, and then Luffy just starts, he says, screw it. If I can't hit you, bro, I'm gonna start jetting all over the place. But no, we immediately get the Ogun rifle and sends them all the way down the Vine, and all the way down Jack, and you're like, Blagnards, man, that's another missed opportunity right there. Oh man, dude, the Sanji scene, bro, my boy Sanji, dog. The Sanji scene is so legendary, man. But God, man, so many awesome moments that I would love to go back and rewatch. But overall, like I said before, it was extremely enjoyable. But even less than I think any of the other episodes. Like, this for me is on the same level of episode of Mary, where I enjoyed it so much because it reminded me of why I love the arc that is being done. But unlike the episode of Nami covering Arlong Park, where that one is as close as you can possibly get to the original source material in film format. The episode of the Alabasta film, the episode of Mary, and now the episode of Skypiea, all remind me why I love these arcs. Are extremely enjoyable to watch if you've already watched them and want to see them like reanimated scenes, and want to see like where certain soundtracks are placed, how they do this, how they do that, and just overall re-experience the greatness in a different portion. But I would not recommend anyone to watch this before they either read or watch Skypiea for the first time. No, that's a big no for me, brother. You can't. There's just way too many things that they cut out, man. And like I said, they did a great job of still making you feel and still making certain things connect. And as big as a Skypiea story is, they hit the skeletal points. You know, not a lot of the meat, but they hit the skeletal points, and the Nolan Kagara flashback, you know, hitting the skeleton of the arc, getting to make sure that you get the point, that how important that final scene is. So when Luffy hits that bell, man, you're reminded of how legendary that moment is. But the special did its job in terms of getting me in the Skypiea mood, making me want to see NL again, and just wanting to, it just really reminded me why I love Skypiea. But and it has the same problems and issues that the episode of the Alabasta film movie 8 and the episode of Mary has, and that is that they cut out way too much stuff, and these episodes are prime examples as to why I say that One Piece arcs need to be as long as they are, because you cannot tell them in shorter stories, you're in shorter chapters. You really can't. I remember getting in arguments all the time, especially for Skypiea back in the day. You know, that like this is like in the middle of Marineford, or Hell, even during Fishman Island, where I would always hear like people complaining about Skypiea and how it's way too long, man. But this is what happens when you cut out volumes. This is what happens when you cut out the meat of the story. Like, it needs that meat, bro, in order for it to be godly, in order for it to be as good as it could possibly be, man. So, without question, man, this special in particular, bro, if anybody ever tells me again that Skypiea is too long, I'm gonna tell them, you want that? You want the special? I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's nowhere near the goatness and the awesome sauce that is the original arc. You know what I'm saying? That's just straight up facts. So, once again, really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, man. The knock-up streams scene, so much fun, man. They actually getting to see Skypiea for the first time. They had some great shots in there. The waivers and whatnot, pretty solid stuff right there. Let me see. The Nolan Calgara stuff was the main highlight of this entire thing, because they just dedicated the time to it, man. They needed to dedicate to it. And it reminded me why I love that flashback so much, bro. Nolan and Calgara, awesome sauce, dog. Those flashbacks are so godly. And I loved how that's another thing that I really liked about this special, in terms of, it's the same thing that I felt about the way they handled the East Blue special, where they tell things in certain order and then come back to it later. That's what I love so much about this special, in terms of how they place the Nolan Calgara flashback. The Nolan Calgara flashback was being told, instead of it being told in one go, it was told a little bit here, and then as Luffy rings the bell, you get the end of the flashback. And I was like, okay, I like it. I like that, because they understand that is the central point and why all this is so important. They focused a lot of time into it, man, and I definitely appreciate that. It reminded me why I loved not only that flashback so much, but why I love this arc so much. So, and then the scene with Luffy going up against NL whenever he initially enters the Maxim, they played Overtaken for that. Had the shocked NL face. Just, that was a lot of fun. And then just mainly an overall enjoyable experience. Reminding why I can't wait to see all these characters together again. Some great shots, some shots that I would like to, take a picture of and put on as wallpaper. My boy NL is a GOAT and always will be, and I can't wait to see him again, man. So overall, man, the episode of Skypiea, it is, I don't even know how to, because like I said, I really enjoyed it. It just doesn't compare to the manga and the anime for me. It really doesn't. So, like, I don't even know what kind of rating to give it, bro. I really don't. Because it's difficult to say. It's difficult to say because, like I said, as its own standalone thing, it works because I enjoyed it. But then again, it's because I'm a huge One Piece fanboy, so I enjoy pretty much anything that comes out of this series. But it definitely was extremely enjoyable. But regardless, yeah, it's an extremely enjoyable thing that doesn't compare to the original source material, to the manga, or to the original video animation in the anime. So my boy NL, man, so many awesome NLCs. I can't wait to see him again, bro. And then of course a fantastic send off and farewell to Nami Amuro. Oh man, dude, I'm gonna miss her legendary voice. Hope is one of my favorite openings, and Fight Together is also one of my favorite openings. So she delivered 2 bangers and 2 very emotional openings in Fight Together and Hope, man. So Nami Amuro, man, thank you so much, dog. But anyways, guys, that was the episode of Skypiea. It was a lot of fun to watch. Man. But man, bro, some of the stuff they cut out really hurt the soul, man. It really hurt the soul. So yeah, man, if you want to sit down and remind yourself why you loved Skypiea, give it a watch. Give it a watch, man. Give it a watch and just see some awesome scenes reanimated. The story of Nolan and Calgara. Woo! And just to, relive the awesome sauce, man. And dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Watching this it really, really, really makes you like really, really makes you understand how godly the original is, man. Like dude, after I finished watching this, I was like, I gotta reread, bro. I gotta reread the greatness and the awesome sauce, man. Seriously though, man. Seriously, this special did a fantastic job of reminding me why I loved Skypiea, though, man. You know, cutting they touched upon certain points where you're like, I need to see the expounded upon version of that. But yeah, man, some of the stuff they cut out that's some of the key integral points of why I love that arc so much. But they tried, man. They tried, and I'd still recommend people to watch it. Just definitely not before they watch the originals, man. Just, you know, after you catch up or whatever, and you want to see some favorite Skypiea scenes, or just see NL again in the anime, and you know, the Skypiea location and beautiful 1080p and that kind of stuff, and Non Kagara awesome sauce, and certain key moments, definitely really well done. But yeah, man, that was a Skypiea special. I had a lot of fun watching it, yo. Definitely it got me in the Skypiea mood. I want to get on Burning Blood right now, the game, and use NL. No question. I want to use him right now, bro. And then I also want to go and I want to reread the whole arc. I want to reread the whole arc, and then when I get to the finale of Luffy versus NL, I just want to switch to the anime for the moment to watch that episode, bro. Because I remember how godly that episode is, man. There was a certain point in time, and I said this in my most rewatched scenes video. I think I said this. I know I said this before on Recon Space. Where one of my most rewatched moments, at least on YouTube, is I would go on YouTube and just search up Ogun Rifle. That's it. Just search up Ogun Rifle, and I would rewatch that, like, what was it, 26-second scene, or a minute and 26 seconds, whatever it was. And just rewatch it over and over, because when he rings the bell, man, and you can see Mont Blanc Cricket, bro, and the music hits, you see the shadow of Luffy in the sky. It's one of the best panels in the series. I need a panel of that just in my room, bro. Just back here, dog. There's a couple panels in One Piece that I could just put things up in my room, man. Like right here, right here, right here, right here. Just have an entire room of panels of this series, man. But anyways, yo, episode of Skypiea. Go watch it, man. If you haven't, definitely give it a shot. Watch some awesome moments. You know, Nami in HD, baby. We're always in the lake somewhere. That's my goat, and It was a lot of fun, really enjoyable, and really reminds me why I love not only this arc, but this entire series, man. So thank y'all so much for watching, guys. Have an awesome day. One Piece greatness. I will see y'all more than likely tomorrow for a video on the latest anime episode, and then we'll see on from there and see what goes on in the week, man. I'll see y'all next time. One Piece awesome sauce, y'all.